Hello everybody, my name is Ryan, we're MandRproductions, and welcome to my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2017 Desert Skiff Escape Set. Its set number is 75174. It included 277 pieces, 4 minifigures that you see in front of you, and retailed for $30 in the United States. At that, it was a Target exclusive, so you could only find it at Target and Lego.com in the United States when it was available. But let's go ahead and take a close look at the 4 minifigs we get in the set. The first figure out of the set is going to be Boba Fett, and this is just a stellar figure. Of course, people love Boba Fett from the original trilogy, and it's awesome to get him in a $30 set. I'm sure this is the reason a lot of people have decided to go out and get this set, along with the Han Solo minifigure that we'll take a look at in a minute. But I really love this figure. The amount of detail in the print is just absolutely stellar from top to bottom. This is one of the best LEGO figures you can get. The helmet mold is great. It also includes this little, thing up here. I think it's a floodlight. I don't think it's a floodlight. It's some type of antenna. I can't remember exactly what it does. I'm sure you guys will roast me in the comments for not knowing. Around back, you can find his sand green jetpack, which is awesome as well. That jetpack mold is one of the best things LEGO's done in the last 10 years. That's actually from 2009. That thing's been around for a while, but it's really awesome. He's also got his little pauldron on the side. Now, he also does have a back print, which I feel like is kind of a waste because it's covered up by the jetpack, so I don't really understand why LEGO bothers to do all that. His hands in particular are something I do not like. I feel like they're so off color. Like, I'm sure they're as accurate as LEGO could get them. However, I feel like in trying to be accurate here, they've kind of given away the look of this figure. I think it would have looked a lot sleeker with different color hands. Like in the past, they've just done dark gray, and I think that usually works. However, in this case, they went with kind of an off tan. It's not quite tan like the Tusken Raider here. It's a little bit of a lighter tan, I feel like. And it's not quite flesh color. It's something in between, which is weird to me. Maybe it is tan like the Tusken Raider. I can't exactly tell. But it's pretty darn close to that if it's not the same. But anyway, let's take a look at this back print. I almost did forget to mention he does have a face underneath, which is pretty simple. It's the same Boba Fett face we've had for a while. And there you have it. That's what you'll find underneath the jetpack around back. It's quite a lot of work to go into something that is never even seen on the figure thanks to the jetpack. So I don't really understand why LEGO does this. It's not something that I've ever seen explained to me. However, I would love to see an explanation for it because it just doesn't make sense. I feel like it's a complete waste if you're going to, especially on a figure like Boba Fett, who is going to have a jetpack covering that print all of the time. So it doesn't make sense to me. However, it's something LEGO does. It's that extra little bit of detail. They're going the extra yard there, I guess, but that's Boba Fett. He's headless. Next up is the awesome looking Han Solo minifigure, which is another big draw for this set, especially that hairpiece. It's absolutely stellar in that dark brown color. I absolutely love it. His face is a little bit of a worried look. He's got the normal torso print that we've seen before in some other sets. No printing on the legs. Around back, you'll find a blank print as well, which again, like Boba Fett, why not have a back print when there's no jetpack, but a back print when there is a jetpack? Anyway. Underneath, you'll find his frozen in carbonite face. I'm sure this is the exact same as the Han Solo freezing chamber set that we've seen the last couple of years. So it's Han Solo. It's a great figure. You can't really go wrong with him, and I think it's a big draw for this Desert Skiff set, and I think people really like this figure. I'm definitely a big fan of it myself. And of course, another popular character here, Chewbacca. Of course, LEGO included this one. People are loving these first 3 figures. We have Boba Fett, Han Solo, and Chewbacca, 3 of the absolute classics. I think people are going to be buying this set, especially for the figures. And I think Chewbacca looks stellar. I mean, it's Chewbacca. We've seen him before, and I think he looks awesome. I love the way they have his, I think they're called bandoliers around his chest there. And then I love what they've done with the face print with the extra light color there. He's got his teeth printed, he's got his eyes printed, and even a little print on his nose, which is awesome. And then he's got a pretty simple leg print down there as well. Underneath, you'll find that this is just one big piece, a mold and a print on top, and then nothing on the torso. It's just a blank brown torso, which is nice. LEGO's not wasting any resources there. So there is your Chewbacca minifigure, a really cool figure. And the only cool thing they have left to do with Chewbacca is just make this an all-in-one top piece and make his arms all furry too. I think that would be pretty cool. The final figure we have for this set is the Skiff Guard. He is pretty nasty looking. I mean, he's accurate, but man, does he look ugly, as in, like, he's actually ugly. He comes with a pretty cool axe, and man, just the detail they've put into this figure is awesome. You can see that the head print actually continues down to the back print here, so that's like a hair braid that goes down, and then you're going to find the same thing around front, where the 2 pieces on the back here match up with what you see around the front pretty roughly. So I really like that. I think LEGO did an awesome job there, really going into detail with that. No arm print, a small leg print, which is pretty nice. He's got a pretty plaid pattern on there, and around back you find that same plaid pattern continued. So pretty neat figure. Obviously no double face, but that's because he has a print on the back of the face, and his face is pretty odd looking, but I think they've done a great job getting a lot of detail on this one. And now that we've seen the figures, I do want to take a look at the Sarlacc Pit. This is the third iteration of the Sarlacc Pit. The two previous versions we've had, one came in 2012 with another desert skiff, and the other one came out in 2006 with Jabba's sail barge. This one, in my opinion, is the worst looking one, at least aesthetically. It's probably the most accurate looking one to the movie, but I kind of grew fond of the two previous versions from Lego, and this one just didn't really sell it for me. However, it does look okay. I mean, it's got this nice sandy base. It uses a lot of little cheese slopes and tiles to get the shaping right. You can see these tiles in here work really, really well with the sloped pieces, so I do like the base of it. I just don't like the coloration, I think, is what I'm getting at. I don't like this dark tan or whatever they've used here. It's like a brownish tan. And anyway, the main feature of it, of course, it has little teeth around the base, but the main feature you can do, of course, is you can open it up by pulling this up, and you can close it by pushing it down. Now, it's like natural resting area. Like you can hardly ever get it to like be even and like look good on display. Like it's really hard because usually it'll just lean to one side, so you can't get it to stay up. It doesn't like lock in place like this, unfortunately, because that would actually look decent, but it doesn't. You can, of course, take Boba Fett and drop him in here if you open it up, and he'll fit in there like an egg. It's like an egg. Yeah, it looks like an egg. He'll fit in there. It's pretty funny to see the figure in there. And obviously it's a lot smaller than you would see in the movie because Boba Fett just kind of gets swallowed up and you can't really see him like that. But all right, and maybe he escapes. Who knows? The new buildable figure shows Boba Fett escaping. That's right. But yeah, you can have him in here. You can make your own story as to what happens to Boba Fett. You could even decide to kill off Chewie or Han a little bit early in the series and end them here in episode 6 in this desert skiff set. But overall, I don't really like the coloration on this. I do like the design of it and the feature. I just don't like the coloration, and I don't like the displayability of it. It just doesn't work for me. But I'll go ahead, pull the desert skiff on over here, and this is actually a wonderful, wonderful desert skiff model. I think Lego did a wonderful job with this. It kind of negates the negatives of the Sarlacc Pit over there. This thing has a great color scheme to it. It's got that brown and dark tan color scheme, and it looks wonderful. So you can open up this middle compartment here to reveal a little gun area, so you can keep some guns in there, your Star Wars weapons if you want, so that Han and Chewie have their own little hidden gun in there, more so for Han, I suppose. This is just kind of an angled area up here. You don't have anything special up there, but you can throw your Skiff Guard up there if you want to, and we'll get him on there. Unfortunately, this set does not come with Luke Skywalker. You can't have him jump off of the pad here on the other side. Usually you would have, obviously, Luke Skywalker on that, and he would do the little fake jump and fly back, get his lightsaber from R2-D2, but that is not a thing in this set, unfortunately. It was in the previous version from 2012, but unfortunately not in this desert skiff. This is actually the first desert skiff to not include a Luke Skywalker of the 3 previous ones, so this is the 4th desert skiff, and it does not include a Luke Skywalker, so I thought that was interesting, because it's such an iconic part of the desert skiff is to have Luke Skywalker jump off the pad. You know, it's not the same when you have Chewbacca standing out here. It is cool that they left the studs out there, so if you have a Luke Skywalker minifigure, you can throw him on there, but unfortunately, it's not included in the set. You can pretty easily close this back up just by pushing it in, and it does not push in all the way, so it does have that little ledge sticking out. You can see how it works underneath. You push it, it opens, and you push it back and it closes. So also underneath you'll find these transparent stilts and the transparent inverted tiles, and those basically make for a nice soft landing and movement of this thing across surfaces, which is nice. The general shape of this thing is great. It looks pretty darn good. You have this little extra bit out here, and I think that's accurate to the movie. It just looks a little bit weird because you wouldn't expect it to be there. Now there is a control panel up here, and you can see that's where you would want to really put the Skiff Guard. I suppose he would be driving this thing or piloting it, if you will. And it's one of those common control panels. You see that pretty commonly in sets. You can throw the rest of your figures on here if you want. Boba Fett, Chewbacca. We'll grab Han Solo and throw them on there. So it does fit all the minifigures. If you want to have them all on there and keep them in cuffs and basically have them, you can have your Skiff Guard getting ready to hit Chewbacca. But yeah, that's pretty much the desert skiff. I mean, that's all it does. You have the little jumping pad that pops out the other side. Nice little design details on this thing just all throughout. So Overall, it's a pretty good set. 277 pieces for just $30 is a pretty good deal. Again, it's a Target exclusive in the United States, and I like it. I think it's a pretty neat set. It's got great figure selection. The only thing I would have included that they didn't include is a Luke Skywalker, and the only changes to the designs I would have made was maybe the coloration of the Sarlacc Pit. I just don't like the color on this. It just doesn't look right to me, although it probably is more right to the movie than the two previous versions. It just, to me personally, I don't like it, but that's my opinion. That's the point of the review. If you guys did enjoy, of course, drop a like. If you have anything to say, leave in the comments section below. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more of my future LEGO Star Wars and LEGO related videos, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Check out these videos on the screen if you haven't seen them yet. Peace out.